Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of All in All with Alex. I'm your host, of course, Alex. Today we have two very special guests in the building with us. I'm going to let these lovely ladies introduce themselves and then give a quick background, and then we'll dive into the questions.
All right. Well, then I'll start. I am Corinna, Isabel's twin sister, 8 minutes older. We are together Our Truth, and we are musicians and artists and inspirational speakers. And we enjoy bringing upliftment to humanity and animals and anything goes. And we believe we're all connected. And so our mission is to help humanity come back to authenticity, which we believe everybody is so special and unique. And we were misguided into going into following each other a little bit too much, maybe. I guess that would be my introduction.
Not much for me to add. I would say, okay, so yeah, we believe we're all connected. Yes, we are oneness. I like to say we are oneness within one and one.
One within oneness.
That's what I like to say because what am I saying? Camera's on.
Okay.
Yes.
So can you all share the story behind your actual name, Our Truth?
Lovely, nice question. Happily, yes.
You, me, or you?
Let me start. Okay. So I can say overall, you can start with the reason why we call it Our Truth is because we are speaking our truth, and it's important for us to speak our truth, and we believe that it's helpful also to the world to speak our truth. But that was not the reason behind it. How we came to that word is how you want to say that?
Okay, so we were making music with someone else, and we came to a point of where we found out that we are not at all aligned with each other after many years of doing music together. And so in our email conversations at that moment of going back and forth, we would keep saying, okay, this is your truth, but this is our truth. This is your truth. This is our truth. And so when we decided to actually separate, we decided to name ourselves Our Truth because it was so apparent at that moment and forever on that truth is very individual. How we perceive reality is very much an individual story. And so truth isn't just one thing. However, this is where Isabelle and I can really use the Our Truth as we stand behind both of us in the same way, is that we believe that life is love and that all life itself is love. And we completely agree with that we enjoy the idea of being love as much as we can and catching those moments with love and keeping in mind, again, that comes back to love. Then if everything is love, then we are all one, and we are all here with each other, for each other, to help each other, to become something greater than we've ever been before. We are all of service to each other as teachers and students. And so, yeah, that's how it all start with Our Truth.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that. So an email conversation
That was the start, yeah.
I like it. So how did growing up in a small town near Frankfurt influence your musical style?
Okay, so no, we did not grow up like the usual family, and especially not in Germany in Germany, as we were growing up, the radio played all kinds of different languages, right? But we were very lucky in the sense of having parents that introduced us to music from very little on and loved singing and dancing and having the radio on all the time. And so music was like strongly around us. So the influence of music wouldn't have anything to do with the area we were in. It would deeply have to do with how our parents perceived music and how attached they were to it and how they opened the door to us to be fearlessly expressing ourselves with music.
Okay, I like that. So what inspired? So is that love of music, just being around at such a young age? Is that what kind of inspired you all to start performing at such a young age?
That happened because our parents were both singing, and we were the twins in town, the singing twins in town. So we performed very early on, at the age of 8. We started singing in town events and whatever Christmas parties and even church events, even at a Catholic church, and we're not even Catholic. But
it's all about sharing the music, sharing the voices.
Yeah.
So
So that was, very
so y'all became famous at a
fluent.
young age, basically. Before
Yeah.
you,
Music was around us from the very beginning, and then being seen in music was also pretty early. Yeah.
okay. Um, so how do you feel that your background in art and poetry influenced your songwriting process?
I think these things come natural. This art and poetry is, I guess it started out with, we are expressing ourselves. This could be therapy. Poetry, I know, like it could be like therapy, like we are expressing our emotions in words to release something or to deal with something, and then it's very easy to slide into music when the music is anyways part of it. So um
Well, for me, the songwriting was really influenced by someone saying to me, "Well, I don't write any lyrics, but have you ever written a poem?" Yes, yes, I have. Well, then you can also write lyrics. This how it was introduced to me at a time where I didn't think I could.
But that's when you forgot that we already did this as children, because as children we would change English songs. We would give German lyrics so we could sing
But we
and
didn't
know
write
what we're singing.
melodies. We did not write melodies as
That's true.
kids. We would take songs and rewrite lyrics, but we never wrote melodies. So when I was introduced to the idea of also writing lyrics, at first I was like, "Can I?" But because I was put into this position of testing my capabilities, I found out I could.
Yeah.
So that's how that started with music.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. So so can you discuss the impact of your 10-year separation on your personal and music growth?
I don't think it has lot. I don't know if it has a lot of influence on the music, but it definitely had a lot of influence on our personal development, because there were so many challenges. In the family unit is where you really find those challenges. That's the closest to the heart, the things that we're here to overcome, the parents are setting us up to. So we had,
or whoever is around us.
who,
helps us
sure,
grow.
the ones that raise us, yes. So our environment. So we had to work through a lot of challenges to come to a peaceful place, and it wasn't easy at all. But the love was always there, and the willingness to do it, and maybe it influenced us as human beings. And then, of course, since we are authentically expressing ourselves through music, of course, then it has an effect on the music as well. Wanting to become better people with each other, overcoming all the challenges that had to be overcome, or that's an ongoing thing, of course, and it gets less and less. But yeah.
Well, and I'm going to add one thing that was, of course, that's always how that goes. But being separated for 10 years and her being in Germany and me being in America gave us another market of music that I wouldn't have known if Isabel wouldn't have still been in Germany, having her circle of friends and having these songs that she introduces to me, and I'm introducing these songs to her because we love sharing music. So there was, the market in Germany, and they're becoming more alike. But it used to be, it was its own thing about music, and the same in America. And so there would always be music that we only heard because we were where we were, and so we could share some stuff. And then, of course, music, I think, always consistently influences us in some form. We get inspired, so it made the inspiration bigger, if anything, I think.
But that's true for everything.
Yeah, of course.
Anything in our environment is, of course, influencing us in a way.
Okay. I like that. I like that. So what inspired you to create the Wondrous Life album and its accompanying musical?
Okay.
Well, that started out with we were talking. Corinna has through many years, even with the band before, people would always say, like, you should be in a musical. Your music sounds like a musical. And then we talked about. So Corinna was inspired to write something, and we talked about what in our lives is worth mentioning, what is extraordinary, and all of this kind of the things that we came up with was weaved into the story that mainly Corinna wrote. It was more like Corinna came up with it, and then we talked about it and worked together. But that's kind of how it went.
But the reason behind it too was that to even be inspired to write a musical, aside from what Isabel said, that we had people approach us and say your music sounds like it should be in a musical, was because of separating from this other music experience that we had for so many years prior. And I felt that because I was even though I believe now that everything was pure perfection and it brought us exactly where we were meant to be, and it was godly, greatly done, thank you God. But at the time, I felt punished. I felt like this isn't working anymore, and I had believed in this, and I had wanted this to be forever, and so I was heartbroken. So I wanted to disregard everything that had to do with this music of the past. And I thought, now I'm needing to start new after all these years, so I need to do more than just music. And that's how I felt like writing a musical would also open the door to something even greater than just singing a song. Not to say that that's already incredible. That's just so much fun, and thank you God for the music. But putting a story into the music itself and having a storyline go with our biggest joy is, talking about music, love, and having music and love. I mean, so that's how that came to be, of writing the musical. And Wondrous Life was the first song that Our Truth wrote, which really Isabelle wrote that, which was the first song for her to write, where she wrote everything. And it was also opening the mind, or her experience of her capabilities and her
No,
desires.
I'm sorry, I need to interfere here because
Okay.
I never doubted this. I didn't have the same situation.
Wait a minute.
No, I never thought I can write music. Why
No,
would
but
say
you
that?
did think you kind of like, you felt kind of in the shadow of something, and here you came into the
No,
light.
I never thought that I cannot write music, but I was never in the position to write music, because in that past band, I was kind of in the position of background singer.
I never
So-
saw her that way, but she did.
So I did write a couple songs with the other player, but yeah. Anyway.
A long-winded answer to Wondrous Life.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, it's always good to see that sister interaction. It's just
Yeah, I heard you laugh. I didn't see your face, but I heard
Yeah.
you.
I heard you laugh, and it was when we don't agree, which we do
Wait a
very
second.
often. We often don't agree. But we know that it is the most important to come to a place where we are in between of, this is fine. This is not 100% here and 100% there, but we came to 100% understanding. This is where we always want to be, because, yeah, we sometimes really don't agree. But that's human, I think.
We have different points of view. And I guess
yes. Every human being is going to have a different point of view from.
Right?
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, even you guys and your twins. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So how do you both balance your individual artistic voices while still creating music together?
Allowing each other space is a big one to still do this together, by allowing each other to be an individual, to go and do your own thing, but then come together and do it together.
We have, though, I have to say, I don't know where we at this moment. I don't know. But we have kind of, in the beginning, we did write songs together. And that was where one of us would start a song and then kind of got stuck, maybe gave it to the other. And
Never.
Or
Just decided
felt
to
like,
let
okay,
the other continue.
or whatever. Okay, so that's how we wrote it, separate from each other anyway. And then we started to do, actually, I guess I pushed that because I wanted to express myself and just express myself.
Without interruptions.
When Corinna felt like, I think this should be different and this should be this. And I felt like, no, but I don't want it. So this is my song, my word now. I have to have fun, say, if it's my word, my song. So we came to do this, that we started to write separately. But we still perform together.
And writing separately really, really works well, because it does allow to just let that flow. Because Isabelle and I very much believe that, like, I believe creativity is this space that's already there and everything's already there, and we just tap into it and it flows through like a river. It's not that we are doing this. I mean, we're the vessel, I believe, right? So creativity is already there. So there's something really nice of catching that wave and then just letting it flow without somebody maybe catching another part of the wave or a different way. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I compared it to painting a picture. When I paint a picture, it's impossible that my sister comes and says, I think that should be yellow over there.
Yeah, or go
I
there.
say, no, that's my picture, enough. And that's the same with music.
No, but at the end, when the picture is done, then we can show it together. And because we have a lot of harmonies that we like to write, we like to write more than one vocal.
Yeah.
Then we can help each other to portray that song.
Right.
Or that story.
Like fine tune it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. So is there maybe that one memorable experience from your early performances in Germany that you guys just remember? Just always comes to your mind?
An earliest experience of what?
When we were singing in Germany.
Oh, singing?
When we were singing as kids. The funny thing is, we just had a different interview, and I was saying I don't have a lot of emotional memory of performing. Interestingly enough, I have more memory of walking through the room after performing, when people are like approaching and talking and stuff. I don't know why that is. Do you have?
No, standing on stage, I don't have memory either. We found, our father used to always have a video camera, and we found this video of us singing.
12?
No, 8.
Oh, we're 8?
Or 8 or 10. Okay, I'm sorry. Between 8 and 12.
Something
Right.
like that.
But we're little, and we're singing together, and it's really interesting to watch. It's interesting to watch myself, because I can't remember the emotions.
No.
I really still I watch it and I think, look at this little girl. I'm feeling very detached. It's almost like I'm watching a little girl. It's not me. It's just some little girl. I mean, some cool little girl.
I have a memory of singing, but that is
when
when we were for the Catholic Church. There's a time on January 6th, we go from house to house and we bless the house. There's the 3 kings and an angel. And we would do that to raise money for the Catholic Church.
Oh yeah,
and
that's true.
And she was always
the
Caspar, right?
Casper.
And
yes.
I was always the angel, and we would walk from house to house, and then people would invite us in. They give us cookies and do
hot chocolate.
Small town, right? Everybody knows each other. So that I remember. This singing,
oh yeah,
I do
totally
100% remember, and I really enjoyed it actually. This whole
that's true. I have a lot of memories for that too. Every year when we did that.
It was sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. You know, it's always having that small town community is definitely a great thing. You know, a lot of good memories, good people around. So let's see. So let's do this. How do you all feel that moving to Los Angeles influenced your music career?
What an interesting question. I'm not sure. I mean,
there wasn't really a music career before. Was there?
Before LA?
You started here.
No. Yeah.
And I did.
A little bit in Seattle, but I'm not sure. This is such a good question because I feel like LA is such its own story, and it has a lot of light and a lot of dark, and it's very dual in its existence of also very rich and very poor. Like everything is so obvious here in the city where you drive half an hour from one direction to another and you'll have a different experience.
Well, I had a record deal for one song in Germany, for whatever. Nothing after that happened, but I never thought that I'm going to be a musician. So there was nothing really in Germany. I was a businesswoman.
Okay.
That's true. And you started here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do think we are where we're meant to be. I do find the city sometimes quite difficult. And sometimes incredibly magical, just like life, right? But I think I am exactly where I'm meant to be.
Okay. Yeah, that's all that matters, you know.
Right.
So in this world with, you know, all the things going on, you know, do you have any challenges that you face, you know, when you're approaching writing empowering and uplifting lyrics, like in your process of that? Like, do you have any struggles with that?
Human struggles, yes, sure. We have days that are not good. We have times that are not good. I speak for myself now. There are moments where I feel like I don't want to share anything and I just want to be by myself and alone. Then it's hard or it's not as easy. But that's the challenge. I think I don't know. I would feel like every human being has that. Yes, it's a little bit of an up and down, maybe, or maybe not. It would be nice to only be up.
I don't think that's possible. I am a super positive person, and yet
maybe paradise is possible.
Yes, that is. I mean, okay, I'm sorry. I meant to not at this moment. The future is super bright. See, here's the thing that I believe. I believe we're in a very special time. And we have waited lifetimes to be in this time. And we're all here with reason. We all chose to be here at this time. And what's happening, I'm only speaking for my belief now. No, anyone who is listening and thinks this is absolutely not their thing, that's cool. No problem. But I'm speaking for me. I believe we waited to be at this time. We're being washed up by a very high frequency that is asking us to wake up to ourselves. This is where our belief that we are part of that mission to help humanity back to self is, because we were so conditioned to follow each other in certain directions that we lost who we really are. To have a sentence like, "This is my dream, but I'm never going to have it, or not in this life," is already so manipulative to yourself, because it doesn't allow you to actually live your fullest potential, which is in you and meant to be lived, I say. So with this time that we're in, being bombarded with high frequency that are washing up everything that's in us, and these old wounds are coming up, and we're healing our ancestors, if you believe that no time exists and we're living only now, everything is happening right now, in order for us to come to our true selves, live our dreams, and have magic, seriously, consistently seeing it as by knowing that we are allowed to be, and that we're allowing each other to be, and that we are of service to each other in a small or big, doesn't matter in what form, but that we live this life to enjoy it. This is the time. And with this time, we all get washed up. So I get washed up to old childhood trauma and things that happened to me that I thought was already gone, and then it's coming up, and I'm like, what is this again? And I think that's what we're all going through. So it made me be very hermity. I'm very much a hermit here and there, and then I come up and I am my happy self, and then I need more need space again in order to center myself. We do a lot of things to center ourselves, which is, in this time we're in, very, very helpful to do things that help us to center, like meditation and or yoga, or taking a walk, or listening to music, frequency music, binaural beats, affirmations. There's so many ways that we can help ourselves to go through this time a little bit more with ease. But yeah,
I like that. So can you discuss the themes or messages that you all aim to convey through your music? Or is it?
Well, it's not just through music. It's also through the Our Truth series, where we talk about how we see the world, or through these blogs that I'm posting, or stuff that you're saying. I think overall, if I were to speak now, yeah, overall, there's an invitation. The message that I would like to convey to the world is that there's an invitation to look at an energetic side of life, much more than we were raised to do that. We were, as I see it, I saw life as, this is what it is, and I can deal with what's in front of me, and that's where my power is. From the energetic side, though, that's what I see is almost the past, because what I'm seeing now, I have created through my energy that was sent into an energy field first. So there's a different power that I can have, and that everybody can have. The getting away from the victim mentality, which is huge, 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 and there are no doubt a lot of victims. However, accepting victimhood can keep us in staying victim, and getting out of this mindset where I feel like, okay, I'm not. Yes, I am a victim right now. If something terrible happens, I am a victim right now, but I can take high perspective and see that my energy had something to do with it, and the teaching of whatever my energy is here to do. So I can empower myself and have a different approach towards what I'm experiencing, and get out of situations that repeat themselves, because people are not seeing that they are recreating scenarios for themselves with different people and different circumstances, but it stays the same kind of thing. So this to me is huge, because that's a personal thing that I realized, that this is how you break a pattern. I broke patterns, repeated situations, by realizing that's what's happening. It repeats. And when I changed my energy and my vision, my looking at it, it changed the outside. The outside changed. The circumstances changed. And so I know there is a lot of power, way more power that I was told I have, and I believe we all have it. Like that. Yeah, that's my thing. And it's this feminine masculine thing, if you want, because you could say I'm very much in that subject, and I love it. That from my perspective, I thought about it a lot and looked at my life and the people. examples. And I would say that the energetic side is actually connected to the feminine side, and the masculine side is connected to the material side. So we lived in a very material world because the feminine side was so suppressed. By suppressing a woman, I also suppressed the energy of the feminine energy, which is also in you, in a man, as much as it is in a woman, as I have the masculine energy within me. I feel like these are two energies that just have names now when we say masculine, feminine. But
I was going to say, if I may just really,
I know,
because by putting
so...
the men, putting the women down, it was also in the man, because telling a man don't cry is putting down their emotional side, is not allowing them to express themselves through their body. The body is our beautiful friend and vessel, which is allowing us to release things. This is where when we run and we are like all jazzed up in some negative or positive running, then it releases that energy. So it is the same with crying. When we have something that's in really like holding on to our body, releasing it through crying is a super awesome thing. And to tell men don't cry is so wrong, because I'm sorry for all men who ever heard that. I hope that it sinks in that it's so good to be in touch with your emotions.
Maybe we can say that there's a lot of things that a human being has, and it was genderized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they made it a gender specific, that some things are for feminines and some things are for masculine. And that created issues here. And then the women were also suppressed that are representing this. So this is like a big thing. I think as human beings, we're coming back to a balance of those energies where men are allowed to cry, and women, of course, can think logically, and they're not dumb and can't change a tire. I mean, I saw commercials from the 50s or 60s where that was common, that a woman, you wouldn't even attempt. You're too stupid to do it. You would believe that too as a woman, as these examples are given, and then you believe it.
Look how far
like
we've
society. And anyway, so we're going back to the balance, and then I think we're all going to have a little more of a peaceful time with each other. But that's the oneness I have in the energetic, and you have the authenticity, right? Because the original question was, what are we trying to convey with our music and our messages, right?
Well, no, you can say it, but truly it's the love. It's the love within us and the love that everybody resonates with. That is, I found that very clear. No matter how angry a person is or unhappy or disconnected, there is a way to get them with love. And if they are loving their car and you're showing whatever appreciation that they have this relationship with their car, you're going to give them something that opens their heart, because relating, it's the love. We all relate to love.
And we do. I want the love is appreciation. If we look at it as love, as the energy of appreciation, sometimes it makes it a little clearer, I think, to make sure we are on the same page as to what are we talking about when we say love. So this deep appreciation that what is has a value, seeing the value in what is. That's what I call love.
Like how you break it down. So, can you? Well, you already did that one, so I can. I was about to ask about the story behind one of the songs, but we already talked about that. So, so how about this? This is kind of interesting. So, how do you balance being sisters, friends, and musical collaborators?
Well, the fact that we're sisters has helped that Isabel doesn't walk away from me. Because she has said many times, if you wouldn't be my sister, I would have nothing to do with it anymore. In these moments of arguments where it seems to be so dark, in those moments that I believe it is not my, okay, how do I say this right now? I think that some of us can say things and do things that are really just about the moment, where I believe I cannot say, like, I don't know how to describe this right now.
Don't get hung up on this.
I'm not hung up.
This is because you and I are very different.
Yes.
Okay.
Isabel can say, I hate you, and she means it in that moment, and she'll stand behind it when I ask her later about it. Yes, I meant it because I felt it. And I say, I could never say I hate you, because I never will. It doesn't matter how angry I am in the moment. I will never put these words in my mouth, because they're not real to me, but they're real to her.
Here, we're talking about the core triggers, okay? The core wound, disrespect that my sister is showing me, where I'm losing it. Like, if this is a stranger, it's not a problem, because strangers don't get that close to me. but my sister does. I mean, like nobody else in this world. So it's the only one who gets this, who gets me like, who sees me, who gets to see me like this, so ugly or
So
dark.
coming back to your question, I believe because Isabel and I have the same goal to share love, this was given to us. This kind of relationship with an anger management issue from childhood and a disrespect from childhood. But we have the same, we're so similar voices that sometimes we can sing things and we can be like, well, which one is saying that right? Because it's really sometimes quite similar. And so we have such similar complementary voices, and we are twins, and we are having the same goal to share love with the world. All of this was set up, I think, so that we can grow as high as we can because of the love that we have for each other. We will not leave each other, and we will not ever give up. We learned from our family: communicate, never stop talking. You don't just push a family member away because there's something that doesn't work anymore. You will always communicate so that it can be fixed.
There's also, if we are saying, and we are saying, that appreciation, so love is number one for us, of course we're not letting go of each other, because even if I say I hate you, I still appreciate the situation, because I say you are showing me a really deep wound. The fact that I get so triggered and so upset is showing me, okay, obviously there's something that wants to be cleared here. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be triggered.
Right. And I can leave the situation knowing that we will come together again. It will never be not together at some point, right?
Corinna and I, as people, are very headstrong. So it makes it hard sometimes when we are supposed to find a common ground and we have very different opinions about something. But we learned to handle it. And sometimes we both need to let go of something. So we find a third solution where we both are happy with it. But generally speaking, we just allow each other to be, and then.
But in the sense of relationship, which you can really relate to in any relationship, it is to have the respect that we deserve to be respected, and we need to remember that what we believe is, like, if there's an argument, generally what happens very often is that if I say this is what I just experienced, and she'll say this is what I just experienced, they're two stories. They are not the same. And if anything, it can often be that the finger will be pointed and we'd be like, you did this. And the other one would be like, no, you did. So now we have these other realities of like expression and maybe even miscommunication. So number one is to never stop communicating and to remember that this isn't because we're trying to find ways to hurt each other or be mean to each other. It is that we are being us. And this being us comes from a different background in certain areas and thought process and blah, blah, blah. Even though we're twins, we're still so different in many ways. And that's with anyone now. So to remember, or to think maybe this isn't on purpose. This just happened. So how can we fix that? This wasn't meant to hurt you. This wasn't meant to be in any way disrespectful towards you, but it came across that way. So how do we fix that? Knowing it, the love is there. It's not on purpose.
So I just want to add, so we can say that back to your question, I think that the fact that we have these issues or had these issues to work through, and have this relationship that we are really working on, this is good for what we can share with the world then, because we are working through it. We are doing it. I mean, anything I ever shared, any blog I've ever written was because I came to, oh, that's how it goes. I'm watching it happen. It's not like we're talking about, repeating somebody else's words.
No, it's all experience.
But there's a lot of things we're working through, which is to the benefit of anybody who wants to.
Especially us.
Of course.
So how do you feel like your music has evolved since y'all first started performing together?
Since when we were 8?
No, from the last how many ever years after that, like once y'all both got to LA, I would say. How about that?
Right.
Well, I think through writing so much and having it flow, like it's I feel very lucky that this is not really with my mind involved. It's really just allowing a feeling to go through. I do see from when I was starting to write to now that I used to write more dramatic about heartbreak, which was also how I grew up with. Okay. Uh, when I was a child, the songs that I would sing along to was heartbreak and whatever. And so when I first started actually writing lyrics, I did write more about heartbreak or something. And nowadays I really enjoy the other side, because we can put any focus on it. And recently I was so depressed. I did write a song and it's slow and it's depressing. It's not really, but it makes me cry every time I listen to it. And I show it to people and they say, oh, it's so good, it's so raw. And then I'm thinking, it's so weird that the good and the raw was pain. That song is pain, and it's translated into a song and people relate to it. But I really enjoy when people also relate to the hopeful side of life, the fun side, the happy side, I think. And then lyrically, I enjoy giving lyrics, and they flow through. I say it again, but there are lyrics that are supportive. They are not about heartbreak anymore. And I'm very careful. I don't want to write about that. I don't want to write, I'm never going to love again, because then somebody's going to sing, I'm never going to love again. And we're all going to set up that silliness of, we're never going to be loved again. What is that for? I believe that Nikola Tesla was right. Thoughts, words, and actions are creations. I'm not going to use my words to create something I don't actually want. So that is huge. The life change of how I see the world has changed a lot, about being very careful of what words I allow to go through.
I think also a certain the older we get, the more we learn about ourselves, the more we heal, the more confident we are within ourselves, and the more confident you are, I mean, obviously then it changes. It changes the way you write, it changes the way you walk, it changes the way you perform, it changes the way you feel about yourself, and that of course has an effect on everything. Yeah.
Let's go with this one. So how do you stay connected with your how do you stay connected to your roots while still pursuing your career in Los Angeles?
That's automatic. I think that roots, like, it's a feeling. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I think we're, from the outside point of view, we feel like we have to do this. I have to connect to this person, or I have to, whatever. But I don't have that. I feel more like I go with what I'm feeling, and I'm very rooted to the fact that I am German and have Austrian even. I feel very connected to where I'm from. And when I first moved to America and I got this new circle of friends, and I always loved the language English, and so I was like, oh, I don't need to go back to Germany. I don't need my family. I don't need German. And then I came back 2.5 years later, and I was like, oh my God, I have an amazing family and amazing friends, and I love the language. Speaking words, every language, I believe, has its own unique way of expression. And we speak English and German, and Isabel does some Spanish and French and whatever. But I do notice that every language, and I'm sure it's with every language, there's something very unique about expressing oneself. And I love how in Germany there are certain ways of expressing yourself. I think German is quite a funny language. They're quite funny people in the way that they like to use certain ways of saying something. And you can find the same in English, yeah? One of the things actually I loved when I first came to America was the idea that in English you can fall in love, and in German, once you use the word falling, it's including pain. It's boom, where in English, falling in love, I always thought that was so romantic, that you can fall.
And then they say love hurts, and they have the pain again.
I know, right?
I would say we stay rooted. I don't know if I ever stayed rooted in any place. It's not about being rooted. It's about being comfortable or feeling at home. And I can feel at home wherever I feel comfortable, I think. But we do travel to Germany. Of course, we have family there and we visit.
And the roots are getting stronger again, because we started
I don't have that she has that thing like, so you're German. I really don't care. I would say, yeah, human, or I'm not even sure if that's 100% true, but something like that. That's all.
But
good,
when I say German, then it's only because I enjoy the culture. They're like, they're just
that's what I meant. It's not like
it's just it's not about, well, it could be from anywhere, and I would say that because I'm having an experience and a certain knowledge about that.
Yeah, I mean, as you should. I mean, everybody should be proud of their culture, that they grew up in. You know what
I don't know. I feel like how can I be proud that's the culture? That's what it is. That's where I was born. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's
Yeah, I don't know if I would use the word
everything
pride
is
either.
value.
It's not about pride. It's more about love, that I just love where I'm from. That's where I'm from. That's who I am. It's like if somebody says, I hear your accent, or you don't have an accent, or whatever. And I think like, well, whatever I'm saying, however I'm saying it is how I'm saying, because it's me. It's
Right.
not, it's just my unique, it's just me. Yes, I am from Germany and I'm half Austrian, and that's my part of, makes me me.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Let's see what we got. So do you can you share a challenging moment in your career and how you all overcame it?
Hmm.
A challenging moment in the career.
Mm-hmm. Or in your personal life, either one. Either one that you want to discuss.
A challenge, you want us to bring up a challenge that we overcame. Like, I think we are consistently working on overcoming certain things, and I think the biggest challenge for Isabel and I was to
Each other.
have anger management control,
Okay.
to be able to not
No,
release our way of we grew up so, like, we just grew up a certain way, and then you think that's the way it goes, and then you do it until somebody says, what are you doing? And then you suddenly wake up to, oh, maybe there's another way. So if we grew up very aggressively talking to each other in many ways when it doesn't work. And so that, I think, was the biggest challenge, and is still to this day, and maybe forever. There are always, it seems to be like that moments come.
forever.
Okay, not forever, but moments come up where it's like, that's not, you think you're further ahead, and then something comes and you're like, oh, maybe not. But every time that moment happens and we're fixing it again, it does seem like these moments go shorter and shorter. So I think the biggest one is anger
I can
control.
say the question was like, how we overcame it, right? So I would say depression and dark moments or something that were part of my life very frequently in the past. And you had it too, came later, much later, and much less than me.
And much
but
shorter.
overcoming these kind of dark moments, by reminding ourselves. And I had a great friend, she would say that all the time, remember tomorrow is a different day. So, and remember, you always come up again, because she is a long time friend, and she's seen me doing this, of course. So you see somebody being really on the bottom, and we go very with Scorpio, we're like all the way into the darkness, and then all the way up. So and we can be intense in that emotionally. So falling very deep, but then reminding myself, okay, it's okay to feel like this right now. Not being hard on myself, staying gentle, even if it feels uncomfortable, or it feels like this is not how I want to be. But I am like this right now, allowing for this to unfold and be the caregiver. Is that the word, right? Caregiver.
The caregiver is the one who takes care of
Yeah,
you.
exactly. So my own caregiver, right? Where I am like, it's okay. It's okay. You can feel this. You're allowed to feel it. Allow it. And not suppressing the tears, not suppressing the pain, writing it out, or writing a song, or these kind of things that then help to get through it, to stay on track, to come back.
Being gentle to self, I think, is a big one that I see in other people too. And it's hard to be gentle to self when you feel that you're doing something you could do better.
And standing up. I used to see myself like allowing myself to fall into a well. And I would just sit down. I saw myself visually how I'm sitting in that well, and I'm crying, and I'm like super, super, super low. And then I also felt like it was my own hand helping me up. So it was me. I see myself like come up again, and just allowing this, okay, get up and coming out of there, like this kind of like thing. We can do that for ourselves. We can also, we can ask for help. Of course, we're not alone. I do a lot of things by myself. So I did this, or I have whatever help around me. But I saw myself like helping myself. So this is a reminder also, get up again. It's okay. You can do this. You only get what you can do.
So what how do you all hope that your music impacts your listeners?
My biggest hope is that somebody listens to it and they're inspired to do their own thing. Like they're inspired to have that little flame in them that's so unique, making them that one gets brighter, and they think, oh yeah, I feel like whatever their thing is. I believe we all have such unique gifts that are meant to share. Actually, somebody once said, if you have something in you and you're not sharing it, like, okay, if you feel like writing a song and you don't dare to because you feel like I'm not good enough or anything, then you're being selfish, because if you feel it, you should do it. And if you touch one person, just one person that says, ooh, then you change the world. So we I shouldn't say that. Funny. It's not necessary to, see, I lost my point now. That's crazy. What was I saying? This is the should thing. I don't believe in saying should. It means that there's an outside force telling us what to do, but made me lose my point.
So the question is, what are we how are we hoping to influence our audience?
Oh yeah. I want to inspire them to find themselves. That's my biggest joy, to think that we are all uniquely being ourselves. And if we're uniquely being ourselves, I 100% believe that we will be nice, because this is against our nature to be harmful to each other. It's not in the nature itself. It is brought into us by discrimination and by disbelief of we're good enough, or whatever the issue may be that disconnects us from each other. But if we connect ourselves to ourselves, we will automatically connect to the outside world, because this is where we believe life mirrors itself from the inside to the outside, so we can see who we are. So nowadays, if somebody annoys me, then I don't look at that person being like, you, I might for a second, but then I think, no. It's me. What is in me that I can have this energy being reflected out to me as something to see? I believe that I have it all in me, but sometimes I wouldn't be able to find it in me because there's too much going on. But if it's shown on the outside, carried by somebody else, just giving me that feeling, then it makes it easier for me to find where does it come from. So I don't know how to put that point with that either.
Yeah. So this is it. You want people to be more. You feel it would be beautiful if we inspire people to be so authentic that people are actually living according to their heart, and not so much according to the mind and the environment and the things they think they need to be doing, the things they feel like this is demanded of me or requested now, and that's why I need to do it. I don't really feel it, but I guess I must get away from this kind of energy so we can flow according to our heart's truths. I had this beautiful visual in a different conversation where I was saying, like, imagine that we are all these perfect puzzle pieces creating a picture, but let's say there is like a puzzle piece missing, and the perfect puzzle piece, and we take a puzzle piece and we it doesn't actually fit in here, but it is being squeezed in there, and it's somewhat fitting. And this is happening all over the place. So the whole picture is distorted because the perfect pieces are not at the perfect spot. And why are they not at the perfect spot? Because a lot of people don't even know where the perfect spot is. What does it mean? It's like this, again, this is all in the heart. This is all in the emotion, in the intuition, in the energy of us, way more than it's in the head and in the logic and in the rationale of our understanding of the world. So I would love to see a more beautiful world. And I think that's how it starts, with the coming back to the heart, where we are in respect with each other and earth, oh my God, and the animals and plant and everything, where the respect comes back, the appreciation for what we have with each other.
So how do you approach collaboration with other artists or producers?
We're actually open for it, but we haven't really approached it. We need, since you're talking about it, we need to find new people to work with to record more music, because we have like 19 demos that need to be re-recorded, and
that want to be recorded.
They need to.
They want to.
So we haven't collaborated a lot after this other band where there was a third person part of the at some point there were more than 3, but here it's just Corinna and I, and we hired everybody to replay our music or to add.
Okay.
So we're open to collaboration is the bottom line. We enjoy what we do, but we also enjoy the idea of, the more the merrier.
We can be very specific, yes, and then you work with us, and we said, but no, it has to be this way.
No, but we wouldn't do that if we're actually creating together. It's a different story than if we're giving our own product.
Well, if you would let me finish.
Sorry.
That's exactly what I say. So yes, it could be like this, or it could be we can be open and say let's do something completely collaboration. We love working with people. We can be team players as much as we can do it alone.
Okay. So do you all once you find a producer or someone to work with, how fast do you plan on recording those 19 demos?
Yeah, we plan on recording them.
How fast, he said.
How fast? You ask how fast are we planning?
How fast?
See
tomorrow.
We are those...
Whoever's listening.
Yeah, that's right. Yesterday. We need to. We can improve in our in the business side of this whole music that we're doing, because I know you are right. We should know. We should know by when do we have to have it done, or do we want to have it done? The sooner the better, of course.
Okay.
We don't have a date on the calendar, but that's an inspiration to do that.
I was just curious.
Yeah, no thought towards that. But if any investors are listening and they'd like to actually work with us and invest into sharing our music with the world, then please contact us.
Investors or musicians.
Yeah, that's right.
Or producers, whoever is enjoying what we're doing and would like to be part of it. We're so open.
Okay.
For that.
Great. So I hope some people out here that's listening that are in that position that want to invest in, because I mean, it'd be great to hear you all get those 19 done and then be able to release them out to the world. So
yeah, it's always so fun. It's like dressing a baby, is watching it grow and then releasing it.
Well, we were talking about, and then who knows what's going to happen with this, but we were talking about maybe actually releasing some of those demos where we show the demos and actively ask if somebody wants to work on that song with us or whatever.
So keep your
we
eye
might
out for
we
that.
might do that.
Or
we might do that. It's uncommon to do. I hear that you release a demo, but I don't know.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to do the uncommon. Make the uncommon common.
That's right. Who is making the rules anyway?
Yeah. So, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience before we wrap things up?
Please visit our website at ourtruthmusic.com to see more of our content and see music videos and hear our songs. And we have our Truth Music series, where we talk about certain subjects, and also on Instagram every Wednesday at 2:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Isabelle and I are live for like 5 minutes, and we have been doing this now for like I think 3 months or something, 4 months, where we just sing a song into the camera. One of our songs, we'll sing it, and then we'll shower some love and light or whatever. Talk about the week.
It's like a 5-minute video. It's just quick,
so it's live, and whoever would like to join us, we're on Instagram at Our Truth Music. And in Instagram, we actually have 2 channels, which Isabelle and I enjoy, even though, yes, we are one unit. We enjoy still the individual expression on Instagram as 2 people, because there are certain things that really are very Isabelle and very Corinna on the other one, So.
But we can say that Corinna's is more, you have the business account.
I do,
so it's more like.
But I don't just do. I mean, I do inspirational pictures with some nature on it, or sing myself something, or sing a song from someone else because I want to share that song because I love it from someone else or whatever,
So one more thing I want to say to the listener:
Thank
you are so beautiful. I hope you know it.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
And I mean, and when I say beautiful, I need to say that your heart is so precious. You are always enough, like you said, anything, and you are beautiful as you are here, as you're listening, as you are part of this journey,
as well as Alex.
And thank you for being here,
Alex. Yes, thank you for giving us the opportunity.
I said that to the listener, but of course you're a listener too, Alex.
Well, I thank you. I thank you. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
um, I'm 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 definitely glad we were able to get on and have a conversation. I appreciate you, ladies, for coming on, talking, your telling the audience about your story, and just letting people know, like, hey, if it's something that you want to do, I mean, you know, no matter where you came from, no matter what you've been through in life, you can accomplish it. So,
Yes, just never give up, right? That's what they always say. If you keep moving, you will arrive. Only if you stop moving.
And yeah, it's the belief. Allow yourself to believe that you can have what it is you want. And belief means you are just keep repeating it to yourself. I can have it. Because those things that we repeat, they drop into our subconsciousness and become that belief that then creates the reality. At least that's my understanding of the world now.
I agree. So, once again, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Everybody, everybody that's out here watching, you know, you guys go and support. Go to OurTruthMusic.com. Go support these ladies with everything that they have going on. Follow them on social media. I'll put all that into the description. But thank you all for watching. You guys have just watched another episode of All in All with Alex, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Alex.
you.
Thank you.